In the 1800s, immigrants came to the U.S. through a port in New York called the Ellis Island Immigration Station. Steerage passengers passed through a set of buildings for examination to determine whether they were fit to enter the country. The Great Hall is where immigrants received a physical examination and an eye test. They received a mark on their clothes with a symbol for any suspected disability or disease. L for lameness, H for heart disease, X for mental problem, and E for eye condition. E was the most dreaded mark because that usually meant the individual had a contagious infection called trachoma, which could lead to blindness. This meant definite deportation. After the medical exams, immigrants stood before a primary inspector for a legal interview, which required the asking and answering of 29 questions. This information went on the passenger list. Most jobs were in the cities, so many immigrants stayed in New York City or traveled to other big cities. In New York, immigrants mostly found jobs in factories and lived in run-down slum tenements. These neighborhoods were around 1/2 square mile with narrow alley-like streets that were congested, noisy, and crowded with litter. The children in these daycares were put in American schools and learned English and U.S. history. Immigrants eagerly adopted American customs as they were ready to begin their new lives in the U.S.